Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Greg. This is a video looking back at the first fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk ahead of the big rematch happening in just a few days' time. If you enjoyed this video, please do check out the other content on our channel. Give it a like, comment with what you think, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Greg, good to be joined by you. Enjoy making these videos with you. We love a rematch here at ESBR. I know we've done this kind of done this a handful of times with different rematches, but probably not one quite like this when we've had such a big fight happening in May. A fight we had to wait a long time for. A fight that was a fantastic fight with Oleksandr Usyk walking out as the undisputed heavyweight champion. And then we've got the rematch just in time for Christmas. We're just going to be looking at the first fight, couple of key moments. I'll throw a couple of questions at you as I like to do, and we will do this, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you cast your mind back to May, Greg, I know you've noted down kind of round two as the first moment that kind of struck out to you when rewatching the first fight. I'll hand the mic over to you.
Yeah, great to join you as always, Elliot. I thought round two was probably a lot more significant than round one. If you look at round two, Elliot, the pattern of the fight starts to kind of take shape. We realise that it's going to be a fight where Oleksandr Usyk is on the front foot. He's trying to outwork Tyson Fury, land shots head and body. And if we notice with Fury, he adopts to go on the back foot, which surprises a lot of people. And you can see it keeps queuing for that right uppercut. Um, and that kind of made a pattern for the fight, Elliot, because we then knew that that was the tactics of both fighters for Usyk to go forward, outwork, tire Fury, and for Fury, yeah, to walk him onto that uppercut and hopefully hurt him, which at some point I'd say probably both men were hurting the fight.
Yeah, look, it was a good start to the fight, wasn't it? Obviously, we had kind of the showboating from Fury in round one, which kind of if you know Tyson Fury, you know to expect that. But if you know Tyson Fury, you expect the unexpected. And yeah, look, I think it was one of those where kind of rounds two and three went past, and it was still hard for me personally. It was hard to work out which way this was going to go, and I didn't kind of get a feeling of who was going to take charge of the fight. Um, excuse me. We'll fast forward four rounds now to the mid rounds. Round six, Fury maybe kind of Fury's best period of the fight was between rounds four and eight, possibly when he kind of what was winning rounds, looked like he was probably favourite to win the fight in those rounds as well. We'll hand it back to you, Greg. Round six, Fury's kind of really good part of the fight.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good part of the fight for Tyson Fury, Elliot. It's one of those fights. I don't believe I've seen a fight before where when both men are displaying their strong points in the fight, you seem so certain that that's the guy that's going to go in and win the fight. And it just kept kind of changing. Round six, I thought, was very, very significant because Alexander Usyk, he kept coming forward. And as I said in round two, you could see a pattern where Tyson Fury was trying to lead him on to the uppercut. And he done that perfectly in round six. And there was a point where we just seen Usyk kind of freeze on the spot. And when he froze, I remember the commentary. I think it was Richie Woodhall. He said he's hurt him here, I believe that he did hurt him. So I think that was really significant because going forward in the fight, we knew that Usyk had to make slight changes, so that yeah, he could have more of an impact down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big moment in the fight. How badly do you think Fury hurt Usyk, Greg? 'Cause we've seen Usyk kind of. I remember Joshua looked like Joshua hurt him in their rematch. I think it was round nine. The Dubois thing happened. We don't need to touch on that, whether that was a low blow or not. How do you think Usyk was ever in trouble or not? What was it kind of? Was it a crisis for Usyk at that point? What are your thoughts?
I think if one more shot landed at that point, Elliot, I think it was a crisis because he properly froze on his feet, and then when he moved, his movements were a little bit jittery. So I think he genuinely was hurt. But the only reason it didn't concern me is because he's been in with big, massive men all his career, guys like Joe Joyce and the amateurs, etc. He can clearly take a shot with the big boys. So yeah, I think it was the closest thing that we'll see to a crisis in Usyk's career. But some guys like Usyk, you know that they just know how to get through anything, don't they? So yeah, well done to him for recovering after that shot because it was a great shot.
Yeah, such a fantastic fight as well. It's kind of bringing it all back to me right now. I think it's obvious where we're going to next, Greg. Biggest round of the fight, round nine. Usyk's, yeah, scores a knockdown over Fury. It was quite a remarkable scenario when I remember Eddie Hearn saying post-fight that Tyson Fury covered every centimeter of that ring as he was kind of weirdly kind of jogging and kind of doing this weird thing when he was just trying to get away from Usyk but couldn't do because he was in a ring. And it was just it was such yeah it was such a unique scenario. But I'll yeah, what were your thoughts on how round nine unfolded?
I'll be honest, Elliot, round nine, yeah, it shocked me because we knew that there was going to be some kind of comeback from Usyk after what happened in round six, but I don't know if any of us expected it to be to that extent. I don't want to be the guy that says I told you so, but I kind of did expect it because if you look at the pattern of Tyson Fury's career, always seems to be slightly shorter guys that are decent boxers. When I say decent boxers, they've got tempo, they've got a style. Yes, Deontay Wilder hurt them, but if we look at guys like Steve Cunningham, who are very mobile, land big shots, they're always the type of guys that hurt Fury. So yeah, round nine when he hurt, when Oleksandr Usyk landed the shot, and I think is it tottering is maybe the best word to use of how Fury reacted. He probably did, with credit to Eddie Hearn, cover most of the steps in the ring. And it was definitely a legitimate knockdown. The ropes kept him up, and that's the rules of the fight game. If the ropes keep you up, it's a knockdown. Um, One thing that I'm going to give Tyson Fury credit for in that round, Elliot, is I thought he would have been finished the following round. I really did because it was heavy shots that Usyk landed on him, and it was a barrage of shots as well. It's not as though it was I think it was like a left hook right hand that probably initially hurt him, but there was a lot of shots landed on him again after that in the same round. So I'll be honest, Elliot, I think that might have been a significant point in the fight going down the stretch to see what way the fight was going to unfold. So round nine for me is definitely the highlight of the fight.
Yeah, look, it was quite something, and another time that fight could have easily been stopped altogether. And I think most people, scorecard wise, obviously it was a 10-8 round to Usyk. A lot of people then had Usyk winning rounds 10-11 as well, which you can't blame Fury for losing those rounds. But I
Yeah.
just think, yeah, that was really important when it came to those final scorecards. I know this is going to sound a bit like if your auntie had different equipment, then she'd be your uncle. But at the end of round eight, I personally had Fury winning the fight at the end of round eight, Greg, and then round nine was catastrophically bad for him, and then he lost rounds 10-11 as well. Um, if I had said to you at the end of round eight, I think Fury's going to win this. He's looking good. Would you have understood why I was said that, or would you have thought, no, kind of, we've not seen the best from Usyk yet?
No, I completely understand that. I don't understand. What I don't understand, Elliot, is people writing off both guys before the fight and even with the rematch. A lot of people think, oh, it's going to go one way. Listen, when Tyson Fury shows up when he's on his game, he is a very, very good heavyweight, very good heavyweight. So I think round nine was, as I said earlier, I think it was quite significant because it showed Fury that Usyk could hurt him. And yeah, like you say, rounds 10, rounds 11, those are rounds for Fury to try and get his head back in the right place. And they came at the worst possible time. So I'll be honest, Elliot, I think tactical, um, trying to think of the best way to say it, I think tactically is where that fight was lost the
Mm.
first time. And without going into the rematch, I think both guys can definitely win if they get their game plans right. So yeah, round nine I think was a big turning point.
Yeah, I completely agree. And without going too off track, I find the amount of people who are not really giving Fury a chance at the rematch is crazy. I think some people are forgetting actually Usyk won the first fight, but it wasn't a shutout, it wasn't an easy fight for him,
Yeah.
and Fury definitely had his moments. Um, Move forward to kind of the final point we're going to talk about, Greg. Scorecards. split decision win to Usyk, 115, 112, 114, 113, and then one judge had it Fury's way, 114, 113. How did you have it yourself?
Believe at the time I watched the fight, I had it also 115, 112. Some of the rounds are really tight, Elliot. They're kind of what you like. But yeah, I remember scoring the fight 115, 112. And if you think about it, sometimes that sounds, wow, that's a 3 round gap. That's quite big, but we've got a 10-8 in there.
Mm,
We've
mm.
got a simple 10-8 in there that costs another point for a round that someone's lost. So yeah, I had it 115, 112 the first time. But again, very, very close fight. That doesn't tell the story.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Not too long to go now. Please do check out the rest of our content on this fight. We've got betting tip shows, fight previews, big fight breakdown, the lot. Greg, that was a lot of fun. We'll have to kind of squeeze in one final look at the first fight before the big rematch on December 21st. Greg, thank you very much for joining me. I'll speak to you again very soon.
Thanks again, Elliot.